Welcome to Color Me Creative. I'm Shreya. I'm a mixed media artist. I share a different series of acrylic art tutorials on YouTube, and this is one of them. I do tarot and art sessions. You can check on my channel. There's a separate playlist for that. I share my podcasts on YouTube. There is a separate playlist for that. You can check on my channel. And this one is part of beginners acrylic tutorials. So today we are going to see how using warm colors, cool colors, using no color, painting straight on background, and using gesso as underpainting makes a difference in how the final output looks, how the final painting turns out. So I'm just going to, there is no reference painting for today. I'll start with taping the canvas first so that we have 4 different sections and it's easy for you to compare after we are done with all 4 paintings. It's not a painting, it's just a comparison between how different underpaintings can give you different results, even though it's the same painting. So let's start. For today's, if you are following along with me, you can pause the video after 5 minutes. I'm going to walk you through everything that we are going to need today. So we will just need couple of, you don't need too many flat brushes. I'm just using couple of options for flat brush so that I don't have to keep cleaning them. And you can just go with one flat brush. You can use as many flat brushes as you want. So we'll just need couple of flat brushes. For warm color, for warm and cool colors, I'm going to use this ultramarine blue and magenta. So that will be our 2 underpaintings. For third underpainting, I'm going to use gesso. And for the 4th one, will just be painting on the canvas, no underpainting. And after we are done with the underpainting, you can choose any reference painting, but because this is a comparison video, so I will be doing a simple sky and a field kind of impressionist background. I won't be completing on the painting. It's just to show how it looks. So I will be using these 4 colors for that. Blue will be obviously for sky. I will be using yellow, green, and orange for painting an impression of a flower field. So let's start with taping first. Yeah, 1 tape. If you are going to paint on the same canvas, you'll need a tape, otherwise it's fine. Let's start with taping. You don't have to tape the edges, but I want to make an even look. So I am also taping the edges. Let's turn this around so I can't reach all the way there. perfect. Now we are just going to divide this into 4 equal sections because we are going to compare 4 different underpaintings. Technically 3 underpaintings and 1 with no underpainting. So yeah. In fact, we are taped and ready to go. I will be marking down warm color, cool color for underpainting. Gesso for underpainting. And no underpainting. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's start with the magenta warm color. I'm just straight putting magenta on the canvas. Moisten your brush, wet your brush in cup and just tap it on the napkin so it's moist enough, and then we'll start with the underpainting. Underpainting is just a base layer that you do, and before you start painting. You don't have to, but if you have an underpainting ready, if you have an underpainting done, then it gives more rich look to your painting, to your final results. And one thing about this color is it's close to transparent because it's a dark color. We don't need a very thick background layer. It's just an underpainting. It's just a base layer. In other words, underpainting is base layer. You just need your flat brush, and you can go for any warm color. I like magenta. I am a big fan of pink, so going with magenta. You can use any warm color. Depending on what warm color you use, your final output will be different. Okay, so that's done. Just going to make it even. I'm going to remove these tapes off, so it doesn't matter if I get paints on the tape. Yeah, we are ready with our warm underpainting. This is one. Now clean your brush, otherwise it will mix with the next color. Next we are going for cool color. Clean your brush completely so that there is no magenta in it. Otherwise it will mix with blue. I'm going with ultramarine blue. You can also use phthalo blue. I can't find my phthalo blue. I have cerulean blue. I don't know where my phthalo blue is, so I'm just going with the ultramarine blue. That is our cool background. And keep going. See, so it's cool colors are usually much thicker and have more density. Warm colors are more transparent. Usually, I mean. So let's go with I am painting this warm and cool colors first so that it starts drying. I have my dryer handy here, so in case if we need it, we can use the hair dryer to completely dry the background before we start painting over it. I like to cover my sides, makes the painting look more beautiful. Okay, so that is our cool underpainting, cool color underpainting. You can use any cool color, you don't have to go with ultramarine blue. Next, I'm going to put this brush on the side and use gesso and use this big brush to paint so that I don't have to clean off all the gesso off of the paint right now. I can do the cleaning part later. Because it's a very small portion, so I'm just going to dip straight in from the bottle and go. Gesso is more like white paint, just more thicker consistency. Yeah, more gesso. You won't be able to see much because it's white on white, but when you are using gesso as underpainting for your paintings, you'll be able to see where you have applied gesso and where you have missed it. You might not be able to see much clearly right now. I'm covering up all the background with gesso. Okay, that's done. So gesso underpainting is also ready. Now this is a no underpainting section, so we don't need any background color for that. I am going to dry this. Okay, all the backgrounds are dried now, so let's start with warm color. I'm going to paint a simple sky, continuing with a field, so it will be an impression painting. Let's start with I'm starting with cerulean blue. I'll be painting one first, so I'll start with the no underpainting area. I'm using another small brush, and let me go back to my previous small brush. So yeah, starting with blue and starting with the no underpainting area, I want to blend the layers perfectly. So what I will be doing is complete one section first and then we'll move to the next section. Acrylic paints, when applied in a small quantity, small area, it dries fast. So I don't want that. And I am going with 60-40 ratio. So 40% will be sky and 60% will be our field. Okay, so that's good. Clean the brush, start with yellow. I'm using a different brush for yellow. I'm leaving a little bit of space because I don't want yellow to get muddy. We can blend blue and yellow after I am done with applying yellow in this section. Otherwise it will turn green and muddyish, which I don't want. So here. And now let's blend yellow and blue. Just going over with, yeah, now I'm going over so that we get a little bit of a hint of a greenish color here. So now here we have like a yellowish green, and we will continue this with green. So I think I'm going to switch to another brush because I don't want to mix up all the colors. So this one is a little bit different. It's a long flat brush, but it's fine, it works. And then here. This is a simple background. We are not going to do much detailing on this. You can go ahead, if you are trying this out, then you can go ahead and do the detailing. Now I'm going to blend this yellow and green here. You can go ahead and do the detailing, make some flowers, paint a sun over the blue area. But because we are doing this so we can see how it gives different results, so I'm not doing any details, or maybe I might let the background dry. Okay, let's start with the gesso background. Let's start with the gesso background. Just moving a little bit closer to me so it's easier for me to paint. You can already see the difference in the shade of blue. Again, when you paint, when you start painting your main painting, make sure that your paints have a creamy consistency and they are not dried or very less. Make sure that it's creamy. So scoop your paint so that it has a creamy consistency. If you take less paint, depending on which paints you're using, if you're using bottle colors, then definitely go for scooping. Take more paint in it so that you don't have to do another layer. Sorry, I was looking for another cup. This water is very bluish. I need clean water. Let's change the water and then we can continue. Okay. So I need to clean this brush so that we can see a more yellowish layer and not more greenish layer. Yeah, the brush is good clean. I mean, we are going to blend it with blue, so it is going to be a little bit greenish, but I want base layer to be more yellow, and then we can, while blending, we can just make it greenish. Just go over this two line and keep going back and forth. That will help you blend. Now I'm not going all the way down. I'm leaving the, or maybe let's just do it. Glaze a little bit of blue here so we get like a greenish yellow here. Now going with green. Let's blend these two colors here, yellow and green. Perfect. Now I'm going to clean this brush and start with the warm color. Start with the warm underpainting side. I have 3 different brushes for 3 different colors, as I don't want to mix them up. You see how the tone is different. Tone for the blue is different when you paint it over pink. This is much creamier. Cleaning my yellow brush. Please clean enough. Here, see, it's more transparently visible. I'm going to blend blue and yellow. You can see the difference here. Because we have magenta as underpainting, so even after blending blue and yellow, our paint got a little bit greenish here, but this one still have more dominant pink in the background. And now I'm going to go with green. All the paints are they look much darker compared to these two paintings, compared to the one with no underpainting and one with gesso. See here, the green is looking more muddy. It looks more natural. It's giving more natural gardenish shade compared to this two. This is perfect. Now going back to my blue brush and moving the canvas up a little bit so that I can reach the cool background. Start with the blue. This is going to be interesting because now we are painting blue on blue. So the tone of blue is completely different here. It looks more rich, more dark here. More turquoise. This is same cerulean blue, but it gives more turquoise tone when painted on a cool underpainting. That's why I went with the blue as one of the cool color, because I wanted to point this difference out. If you can see it, it looks like turquoise, but it's not. Now going with the next yellow. I might need to go for a second layer, but that's not important right now. Just seeing how the first layers will look if you have underpaintings. So see here, I blended blue and yellow, and I'm going all the way down here. It's giving a little bit different look. Now the green. I've used 3 different brushes for 3 different colors. You don't have to. You can clean your brushes properly and then use the same brush. Okay. Need more green. So here, that's nice blended look. A nice blended look. Now, as you can see here, all 4 paintings, they are same colors, but they look a little bit different. I am going to dry it and then we'll just complete them. Okay, so you can do anything, but I'm just turning this into more lavender fields. Just doing some lavenders here. I have a separate tutorial on how to paint lavender field. I just want to put something. I don't like leaving the background as is, so I'm just quickly painting some lavenders. Shorty. Always do different size of lavenders so that you can show the depth and you can show one is far, one is close. Same lavenders here, just taking a little bit of lavender in my brush and just tapping in the zigzag pattern on canvas. We will highlight it with white after we are done with all of the 4 backgrounds. But I can also highlight it with red. That will be a good contrast. So 4 lavenders are ready. I'm going to highlight them with red. I'm going to highlight them. I'm mixing red with lavender. mixing a little bit of red with lavender, and I am going to highlight these flowers, so it will be reddish red with the tone of lavender. And yeah, so just some, not all of her, just some dots, so they look good. It's a good contrasting color. And you can also do a little bit of dots on the side. White will look good too, but I just want to create a contrasting effect, so I'm using red. I'm using my round brush for this, so make sure that your lavenders are all dried up before you go with the highlights. Next is some white highlights. I'm going to use a different brush for white highlights. I don't want to mix any colors. A little bit of white, and make sure your canvas is dried before you go with the white. I used the dryer, but it's not completely dried. It's okay. It will give a good combination color. So what I did here is painted the base with lavender, then did some red dots, and then in between the space where the purple is visible, I am just putting some white lines so it mixes up all the colors, and that gives a very good flower-like illusion. Like this. So it gives a very good floral illusion. Another trick is, another tip for this step is, don't take too much white. Just take a little bit of white and then go as long as you can, so you can create this kind of floral. Now here I'll have to take some white because it's messing up a little bit with the background. Same here, keep going. So because this side was more wet when I started painting, now this side is starting to dry, so it looks different from the no underpainting look. But the flowers are not that important. What's important here is how the backgrounds will look when you use different tones as your underpainting. If you use warm tone, your background, if the background underpainting is a warm tone, then it will look more dark compared to the cool. This one looks more bright and transparency, and the no underpainting is way more transparent and bright, lighter colors. Even though we used same colors for all 4 backgrounds, and the last flower. I'm again going to dry this up. Actually, while we are using white, I'm mixing yellow with white, less yellow with more white, and adding a little bit of red in it to paint the sun shape here. Doesn't have to be a perfect sun, just a circle. I mixed yellow with white and just took a little bit of red in it. One last step left in this painting is to paint some bushes, greenery, so that the flowers doesn't look like they're standing tall all by themselves. Let me dry the backgrounds first again. It was just highlighting the white. We did some highlights with the white, so it's almost dried. I'm in sap green, I'm adding a little bit of red again to give that muddy look. I'm using another to get that dark greenish look. Added a little bit of red to green to add this muddy look, and now I'm just going to make this greenery here, green bushes here. Not too dark, just once we are done with this step will be more visible here in this background because it's lighter. See, it's the same color, but it's giving a different look on the different backgrounds. I'm not using too dark because this is again the underpainting of the bushes. Now, the very last step, take sap green and mix it with the yellow. Sap green and yellow, so it gives you a lighter shade of green. Mixing sap green with yellow. So it gives you the lighter shade of green, which will help you make these bushes more visible here on this background, on the darker backgrounds. Same here for no underpainting background, this color is too light. It's the same color, but it's giving a different look, different tone when you paint it on different background. So here we need another layer. Now this shows how important underpaintings are. So depending on what your underpainting is, the final look of your painting is decided. Now I've used same colors on all 4 paintings, but they look slightly different from each other. I love white, so I'm just giving some white highlights here. Always work with contrasts. Contrast makes your painting look more dimensional. A little bit of more white. I will be doing another layer of yellow over the sun. The sun looks too transparent. So between this different layers of the bushes, I did not dry the background, so it blends. All the three colors blend. The dark green, the green mixed with the yellow and white. We don't want all the colors to show separate for the bushes, so you don't have to dry the layers. You can just keep going, it will blend well. Now, final step for the moon. Let's make the moon a little bit more darker, just using yellow here. Only yellow. There was the underpainting, sorry, it's the sun. It was the underpainting for the sun. You scooping yellow and going around so you get a darker sun. I'm 100% sure this sun is not round, but it's okay. I will make it round later. And a little bit more yellow for this section here. Perfect. Now I'm going to take these tapes off. I'm going to take these tapes off. So you can clearly see how different it looks. They all look pretty. Slightly different but beautiful. You can choose any painting and try this technique. Choose any painting and choose any main subject painting and select warm color, cool color. Try this out. You will be amazed with how your painting turns out. See, 4 different paintings. Thank you for watching till the end. If you like this video, if you like this technique, then do comment below. Like, share, subscribe, and thanks again for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.